to that particular those particular destinations. So we're live. We are live, and let me say hello to this lady, Genevieve. Hello, and welcome back to Saturday Sport.
Hi, good afternoon, Marco. It's evening here, so yeah, good afternoon to the listeners and to the followers.
It's evening over there. I just told Clive, remember when the World Cup was on? This was about the time we were hunting boss here. So the time is similar, of course, to when it was then. But good to have you back. And I told you previously, I'm living vicariously through you and your experiences at the Olympics, of course. And you were with us a few weeks prior to this. But let's talk about just the whole experience of you jetting into Tokyo. But you know what? You've become very, very famous and popular all over the show. Every media outlet wants to have a piece of Genevieve's Lentz. So, how was that? Tell us about that experience before getting into the Olympics.
Yeah, I think it's it's overwhelming. It's like this overnight kind of fame, I'd say. But at the same time, I'm very grateful for it because I think our sport desperately needs to be on the foreground, and that's currently where we are. And I'm so happy that I can be the vehicle for us to be on the foreground. So yeah, just trying to absorb everything. But I am very blessed and very humbled. For the interest in our sport.
No, and you've been doing a fantastic job spearheading that. And I think that table tennis, especially, has not been this popular in a long, long while. And people, like I said, just want to have a piece of Genevieve. And how have you taken to the media attention, man, and all of that, even being on, I think, on Chinese TV as well?
Yeah, like I said, it's kind of overwhelming. But at the end of the day, like I said, it's good for the sport. And I think one has to also just kind of find the healthy balance between when you engage with people, because now people think you're kind of famous and you can kind of get them things and you can get them on the platform. I had one request, to get signatures from athletes. I mean, I'm not even at the athletic stadium. All they saw was my
Yes.
live post from the athletic stadium, and they're asking me for signatures from athletes from different countries. I mean, how do I get there? I was lucky enough just to sneak in because I literally sneaked into the stadium.
Yes.
Um, but yeah, so I'm happy for the fact that there's so much attention, and like you said, we've never had so much attention in terms of table tennis. But it's good, and it's so good that Theo Kogel, I'm not sure, I think he was on your show. He actually got a sponsor, and we were
Oh,
praying so hard for the sponsor. But he's lucky that I think this morning when he woke up, he got the tweet or something or inbox that that he's being sponsored. So it's good for our sport, and I hope that it's just going to benefit us in the future. And like I said, also previously when we had the interview, is that we're having the World Championships in 2023. And so, if this can be the start of great things, and the media just latching on to what's happening in table tennis, then so be it.
So tell us about your experience. Tell us about. I know the first day, especially, was a bit hectic, especially with the flight and having to get everything done. But getting the kit and being part of the official or the team, and I saw a look there. One of your pictures. Oh, that game on look. I don't think I don't think I would want to mess with you as an official there. Just that look. That's has brought your A game there. Talk to us about that experience.
Yeah, I think I'm the total flight hours. I think I'd left Cape Town at about 8 o'clock in the morning on the 22nd. I arrived here on the 23rd. It was about 6 o'clock the evening. So I traveled from Cape Town to Johannesburg, from Johannesburg to Doha, and then from Doha to Tokyo. Um, and so I land 6 o'clock, and it took us a further 5 hours on the airport just to get through all the protocols. So when you land, then you also have to do a test, a COVID test, and then you have to wait for your results, and that totally takes 5 hours just to get through the airport. I got to my hotel room easily 1:30 in the morning. And it was exhausting, and it's summer year, so yeah, it was very exhausting. And you're talking about the kit. I basically just had 4 hours sleep. That next morning, 8 o'clock, we were on the bus off to get our kit. That was very exciting. I remember in London, the kit was given to us, but here we actually went and we got to fit the kit. And obviously, lots of people. There were a few people who were a bit skeptical about actually fitting it on, considering COVID. But I must say that the protocols are very strict, and that we've been here for over a week, and luckily, thank God, we've not had any sort of cases. And I think the Japanese people are getting that right. So it was a nice experience, just the start of the Olympic, the feeling, the vibe of being at the Olympics. Which is very sad. Obviously, at the stadium, we don't have the spectators there. So that was a good start. Just meeting our colleagues again, and because we've obviously some of our colleagues we've met before at other championships, this is under very different circumstances. We can't hug each other, but just seeing each other again and sharing our experiences, and then trying just to create that closeness here at the Olympics. That's pretty much amazing. This afternoon, actually, we just had a lunch, all of us together, obviously adhering to social distancing, but we try and do everything that we can just to create that unity. So that is pretty much amazing. And then obviously then the Olympics itself. So if you walk into the venue, it looks like a pretty normal tournament. Like looks like it's just a everyday tournament. But once the athletes get to start playing, you realize that this is the world stage, and these are actually very elite players, and you actually start feeling that Olympic feeling. So it's been pretty amazing. It's exhausting. Our morning starts at about 5 o'clock in the morning. We get onto the bus and we get to the venue, and we come back at about 12 o'clock in the evening. So it's a long day, but because we can't really tour around, we can't go out. The bubble is created for
Until you sneak into the Olympic Stadium.
that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mm.
I
You
think
don't have
that's
to repeat now. We'll do another
that,
session on that.
that,
So you
that's
can.
just, I think that's just, coming from Bontival, that just makes street smart.
Okay. And the people of Bond will say, oh, need Moenie so sê nie. O, jette. But okay, I would have done from this time. I would have done the same. I would have taken that gap and been in there like a shot. But that was amazing, just showing us the footage of the Olympic Stadium. And I think, we love all of the sports, of course, table tennis and all of those things. But when it comes to the Olympics, we always also think the Olympic Stadium and the athletes. And for you to show us that, give us a glimpse of the stadium. But for you, I know you were excited just being there. And so you were actually in that stadium. How was that for you, man?
And on the live feed, I say that I have goosebumps, and literally, my flesh was standing up. So the fact that it was the opening ceremony. So as officials, we get to go to the opening ceremony, but this time around, we had to watch it on our TVs. So that was very sad, because it's only the athletes that got to go to the opening ceremony, and some officials got to go, but obviously we're not important enough to be there. But also, the fact that they have to follow the protocols and only have certain numbers of people at the event made sense. So I think one can understand that. But it's phenomenal just thinking about the fact that this is where world records, get broken. This is where weight. And many others are competing. So that was phenomenal. It was really a once in a lifetime experience. I hope to, on the 5th of August, sneak in again. Wade is competing on that day. I think he's got the heats on that day. But we are very busy. I know tomorrow our team event starts. So I would firstly have to check my schedule and make sure that I am free on the 5th to go and see him actually compete.
I've got a question for you from a good friend of ours, a mutual friend, Jerome Samuels, Pastor Jerome Samuels, also at the other radio station. Any lessons learned from how the Japanese deal with COVID-19?
If there's any nation in the world that was going to get this right, it was going to be always going to be the Japanese people. They're very precise. I remember also, for instance, now we've had 2 mornings where we started late. So every morning you must do a COVID test. As soon as you get up, you do your COVID test. It's a live test, and you have to register that test, and your results come back within 24 hours. So if you are negative, then no, there's no communication. But if you're positive, they inform you. And we were told for this 2 mornings, we did not go down to the venue, and this is generally where we drop our tests. We were told to drop it in the lobby of our hotel. And it was specifically between 10 o'clock in the morning to 12 o'clock in the morning. This is the time that these officials will be there to collect our tests. And a colleague of mine says he was there 10 to 10 and they wouldn't accept it. They told him the time says 10 o'clock and he just has to wait until 10 o'clock. And that is how precise they are. I mean, they're not lenient when it comes to these things. They're very strict about it. And wherever you go, they're taking your temperature. These sanitizers. They clean up when after every match. I don't know if you've been watching any sort of table tennis, even when the players are sweating. So generally players, and because it's so hot in the lights, because for media we need a specific amount of lighting. So it's generally hot when the players are playing, and obviously playing also getting also hot. And then they sweat quite a bit throughout the match. And then these volunteers, they come onto the board, they wipe it clean. Initially, we had them cleaning it with sanitizers, but obviously that affects our equipment, so they clean up all the time.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I think that's generally what we can learn from them, is that you should not be relaxing. And I think this is where we go wrong, is when we see the numbers drop. Now we start relaxing. Now we start taking our masks off, and we wear our masks all day. This is the first time in my life for the last 2 years, for the past 2 years, that I've actually had to wear my mask. And I didn't know I was going to survive, because I am also asthmatic. But it's become so part of my lifestyle that I can't see myself not wearing my mask. So, and we all do it. No one's, we respect each other's space. Even in our eating area, our lounge, we've got little, what do they call this? Little offices type of thing, which is barkened off, and you sit within your little
Yeah.
space, and you have your meal. You take off your mask, you have your meal, you put it back on, and there we go again. So we're respecting each other's space, and we're following the protocols. But sometimes people just they do things on purpose. They want to go against the grain, and this is when we become
Yeah.
slacking in things, and that's obviously lessons that we can take away from the Japanese people, is that this is a crisis and it affects everyone. So we need to do what we need to do to keep each other safe.
Well, there's a question for you, and Craig Wenzel is asking this. He's asking, how do you cope with the heat in Tokyo coming from a cold Cape Town? Ek weet nie, ons koop onsself hier nie. You tell us, what do you do there?
Yeah, we adapt, man. We adapt.
Tell Craig, you're from Bontiville. That should
Yeah,
answer the
Craig
question.
knows that. He does know. We attend the same church also, Craig. And
I don't know why is he
so,
asking. Hy moet weet. Janne.
anyway, but yeah, so in our rooms we have air condition. Thank God we have air condition. Generally in the hallways we have air condition. In our venue specifically, it's tremendous air condition. So we don't feel the heat. Except for when we go outside, for like the day when I actually did the live feed from the stage, you
Yeah,
see
yeah.
me like sweating. So yeah, so we are basically we're in very air conditioned spaces, and like the bubble that has been created for us, we don't work outside of that bubble, and so we're not so much in the heat
Yeah.
to feel what it's the temperature's like. We've had some rain. Okay, we've had some drizzle. It's not been rain. It's obviously some drizzle, but it
Mm-mm.
doesn't make a difference. So yeah.
But let's talk about. I want to get back into your experience as a South African at the Olympics, and what a privilege for you to be there. But also, just as we are loving the fact that some of our athletes are medaling, gold medal, silver, and everything. But we love that, and for us, we're so proud of those athletes. But for you, being an official at the Olympics, how's that for you on your side of the spectrum there? How do you experience that? And are you just as proud as we are as a nation?
Absolutely. It's sad that we have this bubble and we don't really know. And because we in our venue in the morning and we come back out, we don't really know what is happening. But coming back and reading online, so I go online when I come, when I have the energy, and I go online and I see all these wonderful news and waking up to the news that we've done so well. So it makes you really feel proud. And your colleagues speak about it. So you're proud to be part of a nation that's doing so well. And then, yeah, and I'm obviously proud to be here as an official, being the first African female to be at the Olympics is definitely an honor for me. So yeah, I think both, it's just great to be here. It's great to see how well they're performing. And I think, in previous years you'd think, okay, maybe one or two, three medals, but I think this time around we actually standing a good chance to get quite a few medals.
Yeah, no, and I'm so fortunate to be able to connect with you today on the show, because we wanted to get that perspective from somebody that's actually live there. I know it's in the evening, but I think sometimes, especially with the way sport has been going this last year and a half, with less spectators or no spectators at all, I think it's taken away a little bit from the participation, from the spectators and those viewing. And now we're going to get into that feel of what it's like to be at the Olympics, and for you, passionately representing us there as well, and especially the sport of table tennis. I think just to hear your perspective brings excitement for us as well. But I want you to talk into somebody right about now, because last time I had you on the show, we rightfully we've celebrated you, and we're still celebrating you. But I always make a lot out of the fact that people like yourself and myself and others that come from the Cape Flats, we need to still inspire somebody, but not just that grouping, but somebody out there that's saying, you know what, I want to do what Genevieve is doing. And whether it is table tennis or netball or some of the sports that maybe don't get all of the attention that it should, or just somebody that say, I really want to accomplish something in life, what would you say to them?
Yeah, so I think it's phenomenal to be here, but it takes hard work to be here as well. My career has taken as a span of 20 years, and within that 20 years, I've been an athlete. I've participated. I have been an umpire and now a referee, so different stages of my career. But one thing that I was true to is, and the fact that I'm passionate about the sport is, I remain committed to the sport. It's important to stay focused, and I think I always say this is to drown out the white noise. And when I talk about white noise, I'm speaking about people who discourage you, because those people, they do
Mm,
come along, and they are
mm,
jealous people. Unfortunately, not everyone is happy for others, and I think for women specifically it can be very challenging and very difficult, because men see you as their competition, and they don't see you as someone who can contribute equally. They tend to think that you're taking up their space, but that's not true. We can actually, we can coexist in sport, and that's the nice thing
mm,
about sport.
mm.
So I think it's important that once you have a dream, that you follow through, and that you stay focused, and
Yeah.
that you don't allow anything. And life is like that. It's going to throw you curveballs. That's just how life is. But it's how you deal with it. And then I think it's very important to have faith. Very important to remain prayerful, and constantly, just seek God's face, and ask him, what is it that he wants for your life. And if this is truly what you want, he's going to give it to you. Maybe I can just share a quick testimony. I don't know if I did, but I was teaching for 15 years. I was teaching high school, and I got to the point where I felt that I was just becoming content. And although these wonderful kids were coming back, and you could see that they are doing wonderfully in their lives, I felt that my life was stagnating. And I'd watched the movie, what was it called, War Room, and
Mm.
I had a conversation with another person, and she was saying she did the same thing. She wrote a little note, but she was very specific what she wanted. She was talking about a life partner at that time, and I was thinking I could do the same thing, because obviously not a life partner at that point, but it was definitely for my career. Because I did feel, like I said, I was stagnating, and I did that. I very specifically wrote down. I said, and I still have the note at home. I'd shared it with you when I get back home. And I said in the note, God, you know my heart, you know what I'm passionate about, and I trust you. That's exactly what I said. I dated it. And a month later, on the same day, so if it was the 25th of June, the 25th of the next month, I got 2 interviews. And the interviews were on the same day. And I got appointed to both jobs. So
And
that's
you had
how,
to make the choice.
yeah, I could choose what I wanted. And
Yeah.
that's how great God is. So
Yeah.
if you really know what you want and you committed to it and you committed to him, and you stay true to yourself at the end of the day, you know, the sky is not even the limit. So
Mm.
you can really achieve
I don't
anything.
think the sky is the limit. Often people say that, and if we can go into space, then the sky is
Obviously,
the limit.
exactly. Exactly.
So
Yeah.
do you want to just give a shout out to some of the family members or loved ones? Anybody there?
Yeah, definitely to my family. I miss them a lot. They've been so wonderful. Every day I get a voice note from either family member or friend, so I kind of don't feel so alone in Tokyo. So thank you so much to my mom, to my sisters, my brother-in-law, to my friends, and to everybody that knows me. Thank you for your support. Thank you, South Africa. Thank you for Cape Town. I get these messages, these inboxes. They're telling me that I don't know them, but they're so proud of me. So thank you for supporting me. Thank you for having my back. I truly appreciate it, and I'm very humbled.
Man, I agree. We're all very very proud of you, especially this guy Jerome Samuels. I
Yeah,
think
I need to give him a shout out to Ram Samuels. He just took on this job of PRO. And
yeah.
I'm telling you, that is one of the reasons why we've been in the media as much. He's been so great. He's taken it upon himself just to get to the media houses and get the attention towards table tennis and my achievements. So that's been great. Thank you, Jerome. I do know that it's taking of your time, but I really do appreciate it. So
No, he's a great guy, and we all love and appreciate him as well. But I loved my time with you. Can't wait to have you here if we allowed to have you in the studio. But thank you for what you're doing. Thank you for representing us so well, and also the sport of table tennis. And God bless you. God bless you. Your hands, and the ventures that you put it to. And we, like I said, incredibly proud of you, and hope to connect with you pretty soon.
thank you so much, Mark. I really appreciate it. Thank you to everyone.
Yeah, you can go rest now. I know it's evening for
Oh,
you.
can I go? Can I go?
You can't sneak it anyway. In any case, till
Yeah,
next
unfortunately, everything is closed. It's evening. It's like going towards 8 o'clock now.
till next time. God bless you.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye. That was Genevieve Lentz, and I'm about to go into some more music for you, and extremely proud of her. And so we got to a break. Some more music coming your way. I'll play something by We Will Worship. It's called Heartbeat.